Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. I hope you are all having a fine week, getting ready for a fine weekend. Actually, by the time this edited video rolls out, it will be nearing the end of the weekend. Sad, we'll have to go back to work tomorrow. But anyway, you can catch this show live Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Participate in the chat, in the comments, and see all of the behind-the-scenes nonsense going on. Get some of the crazier updates we have, all sorts of weird things. We found $10 printers at pawn shops, and I was going to talk about a Pine phone, but we're going to do that in here a little bit. But anyway, let's go ahead and chat up the Linux news for the week. First up, we had some updates to the NVIDIA graphics drivers, bringing some Wayland fixes, better support for VKD3D games. I am not a gamer. I have no earthly idea what that means. I'm sure you guys do. The basic point here, NVIDIA 550 series does have more updates, bringing some more improvement for Wayland. So if you have been holding back on Wayland, just things not working with NVIDIA, go ahead and give it a try now with this one. Let's get those bug reports out, because honestly, as much as I don't think that we should all be switching to Wayland right away, I also think that it needs to be tested. And if those that are capable of testing things out can submit some bug reports, that would be an excellent thing. Of course, this deals with NVIDIA does have, they are now finally have some of the open source drivers, although they are not nearly as good as the proprietary ones. So if you install the proprietary ones, you will get a lot more features involved. And these updates are going to fix some of the hanging that would occur on Wayland and a few other fixes as well, of course, impacting Linux and FreeBSD and Solaris graphics drivers. So there's some extra details and some updates in those. Just be aware that those are out. So if you are using the NVIDIA 550, there's a new update there. Give your games a try and let everybody know how those are working. Next update comes from the wonderful world of the Pine phone, which I have right here. And the Pine phone, this one here is Postmarket OS, is bringing systemd to the Linux phones. Now, Ubuntu Touch, which I've already tried on the Pine phone, is excessively slow. And I'm hoping that's not related to systemd, because I'm actually have Postmarket OS on this Pine phone right now, and I'm running it on Posh, and it actually works very well. So I was actually quite surprised. I've not get a chance to do all of the testing with calls. I did attach my Bluetooth headphones to this to listen to some music. It lasts about 2 songs before I took them out and switched back to the wired. But to be perfectly fair, my $20 Bluetooth headphones do that on my Razer phone too. So I don't know if my headphones just completely suck or if Lineage and Pine phone doesn't work well with the Bluetooth. I don't know. But as far as the Postmarket does have a lot better battery life and a lot more snappier phone, a lot more general support. And I like Postmarket on Posh has a nice little tool that if a app is not cooperating, you can push it through this app and it'll actually fix the screen resolutions, which works on some applications, but not others. Now, what's going on here is to get the GNOME system and even in some ways the Posh system to work, they needed to do some fixes around the initialization system, which they were using OpenRC. However, OpenRC does not work with Plasma or GNOME, the two biggest ones. By the way, it pains me to say this. I'm going to have to confess it. GNOME on the Pine phone was awesome. I switched over to Posh just to test that out, but GNOME worked really well. It was really beautiful. It worked pretty good. Way better than Plasma did, which is sad because I'd kind of rather run Plasma or Ubuntu, the Touch, but this Touch is excessively too slow. But the issue here is that OpenRC, which is what they're using for their initialization systems, does not work well. So they're switching that to systemd. And using systemd, they will be able to load Plasma and GNOME. And I did find out that I think its Void has a port for the Pine phone that actually has a modified XFCE. I am itching to try that one. That'll be neat. So that is just an update for those utilizing the Pine phones, as we do have some of those, and stay tuned for some more Pine phone videos. I might review the Posh next to the GNOME, or maybe look at the Posh compared to the Plasma, since those are the two installed on this particular phone right now. And moving on, Proton Mail. For anybody that is using Proton Mail, they do have a desktop client, and the The desktop client for Linux is available. It is still in beta, but if you are open to testing out beta software and giving them some feedback, you can go ahead and install this directly from Proton. So, of course, you can get in there and you can set it up. So their Linux installers are offered in Deb and RPM formats. Sorry, Ubuntu guys, you're going to have to take extra steps to install it. In fact, they even tell us that over here. You can't install Debs and Ubuntu 23.10 and 24.04 out of the box. Annoying. I know. First installed GDebi. Yeah, Ubuntu is moving in that direction. It still works eventually, but you can either use Deb or RPM on most distributions, and you can go ahead and get that guy installed so you can play around with the Linux client beta for Proton Mail. So that is excellent and very good news as we look towards alternatives to the Google ecosystem and the other ecosystems. By the way, I will just let you guys know now, I have all of the footage recorded, just need to assemble it, put a video together, and probably do a document for the website. I have a full video in the works right now of completely leaving all of those big tech guys behind for syncing your calendars, contacts, and images and other files on a local Nextcloud server. And I was able to borrow an iPhone from Fresh Vintage to show how to do all those things with iPhones, in addition to a brand new Pixel phone and an EOS phone as well. So I do have that coming on, which is another good alternative to using the big tech in addition to Proton Mail. Of course, the big news is another company is coming up with another Linux gaming system to compete with SteamOS. So SteamOS, of course, is based on Arch and has done a lot to move the Arch development ahead. Praiseworthy stuff, especially in the work with Proton. This one is actually based on Fedora's Silverblue, which of course is Fedora's immutable system. So I don't know if that means one will be more stable than the other, but Playtron is coming up with a little bit more ambitious goals. Now it is developed by Kirk McMaster of the Cyanogen project. Of course, the Cyanogen project is the predecessor to Lineage, which is the overall the best, most well-supported, and most commonly used alternative ROM to Android. So that is where that one came from. And this one is set not only to do that, but to have a number of other features as well. They want to support x86 and ARM architectures. They want to be making it available for laptops, PCs, TVs, and even cars in the coming years. I think that is extraordinarily ambitious, and hopefully they have something, because even as of right now, at least as of yesterday when I was doing all my news notes, they don't even have even an alpha distribution you can test. So right now it's all promo mode. Let's raise some support, but they have absolutely nothing we can look at yet on the public end. So who knows, maybe it'll turn into something really good. Maybe they're going to really help move some development. Maybe they're just going to raise a lot more awareness of Fedora, but I think good competition in the space is good, especially if it means more people looking at Linux and understanding that Linux is now running some of the more popular gaming decks that we have available. So that is our Linux news for the day. Let us know if you already have a SteamDeck, if you would consider the Playtron, or if you don't and want to wait, would you prefer to have one based on Fedora or based on Arch? Let me know all that in the comments. If you want to help support the channel, we do have a Subscribe Star page, subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. You can jump on over there and you can help support the channel for any amount that you want to give over there. And with that, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.